A nosotros nos gusta vivir con todo. Conquistamos con todo. Y la comida la disfrutamos con todo. Aunque a veces pueda causarnos malestar estomacal. Sal de uvas Picot es el rápido alivio contra la indigestión y pesadez estomacal. Para seguir viviendo como nos gusta. Con todo.
10 mics, then your asses better be in formation north of the stadium.
Orders are anytime, any place.
Sergeant J, keep your scouts in line.
Can we make a pit stop at the Komatu?
The new guy is low on rations. Make it fast, guys.
Who's that?
Okay, let's lower that further down. Alrighty then. Well then, hello everybody. This is it's me, Francisco, here for Sports Goofs number 217. I'm joined, well, not really joined by anybody here. Neither Charles nor Andrew are here, so it's just me in the studio by myself here. But that's fine. That's fine. I still have things to talk about. Talking to the void, make some clips for YouTube shorts, and just kind of talk like a crazy man. So I've got some subjects here. I'm trying to utilize something new here, as you'll see on the big screen upstairs here, that using our Sports Goofs Twitter account, which you can follow us on the Twitter at sports_goofs, at FJOJR, at Charles the True, at Damn Frijoles. And then you can do at FLA Cats History for my Panther stuff, at Marlins History for my Marlins stuff. So just to do what Charles always does in plugging the social medias. We're also on TikTok, Instagram. I've got a Blue Sky, don't even use it. But we're pretty much on everything. Facebook as well. We're doing some pretty good numbers on those too. And of course, listen to the audio version of this after the live show. But I've got some news topics here up on the big screen here, and just a few things in gaming over the last couple weeks, in sports as well. Some big news happening all today, and of course the NHL and NBA playoffs are getting down to the finals for both series fairly soon, for both sports here, and yeah, and a little bit of everything in between as well. It's probably be a shorter video than I'm used to. I'm here by myself. I'm trying something new though. As you guys can see, I'm using the camera for the first time. So this is the first official face reveal for Sports Goofs. I'm sure Charles and Andrew will never do this, but I've already done this stuff on other podcasts anyways. So I thought I'd have a little fun with my actual studio here. I've got the whole setup, the lighting, the green screen, and I've got the sports memorabilia gear here. So I thought I'd show it off a little bit. But we can kind of go into the full view of the studio here. I probably should have a slightly more zoomed in version so you guys can see the big screen upstairs and myself, but oh well. We'll just this is a new setup, and I haven't really worked out all the kinks yet. But in any case, let's go over to the big board here, and I'll just cut away to myself every now and then when I need to view something there. Okay, so First bit of news that came about today is that Activision has filed a trademark for Crash Bandicoot movie and TV show. So they're going for both here. I don't think they'll produce both. I don't know how popular Crash Bandicoot is in comparison to the other mascot characters. Obviously, nobody's as big as Mario, and Sonic the Hedgehog has done a pretty good job, but I don't know if I would put Crash Bandicoot on the same level as Sonic, nor the franchise really as on the same level of a lot of other series out there. There's definitely a lot of nostalgia for Crash Bandicoot. You had the Insane Trilogy that remade all 3 games there. You had a 4th Crash Bandicoot come out as a result of that, so maybe Microsoft, because they own Activision now, is trying to strike while the iron's hot here. They've got Minecraft having a 2nd movie, and they got to start pushing their franchises, as they've seen Nintendo has been able to start pushing a lot of the franchises here, and really trying to spread the love with Fox in the Mario movie. So gotta spread the love with some other stuff. Crash Bandicoot, the new head of Xbox, she's trying to put things together and trying to restore the value to gaming for Xbox. And that starts with a lot of their franchises. Forza is doing a really good job. I've yet to play it, and that's only because I've yet to finish Death Stranding 2. I'm so 70 hours into the game, and I might be 1/3 of the way there. I've done 49% of the achievements so far. But Charles says there's probably another 50 hours left for me. This is a big one. This is probably the longest I've played a game since since Tears of the Kingdom. Tears of the Kingdom for Zelda. That's probably the longest it's been, actually. So I'm thoroughly enjoying the game, just enjoying the gameplay loop. But Forza Horizon 6 is my next big one, and that's another open world game that I'm gonna have to sink my teeth into for several hours for sure. That's probably gonna be at least 30 more hours there just on Forza alone, based on the fact that I've played every game in the series, and I've done a lot in all of them. So looking forward to all of that. But heading back over to the big board here, so they are filing that for Crash Bandicoot. We'll see. I mean, might as well. A lot of video game series are trying to get in on this movie and TV craze at the moment. I don't know if a lot of TV series are coming out. We had a Halo series recently, but with movies, yeah, for sure. Mortal Kombat's got a 2nd movie here. Street Fighter's gonna have a movie coming out fairly soon. Minecraft's got a 2nd one coming out. Sonic 4 is coming out as well, and then Nintendo's got some stuff in the back end for a new Mario movie and probably a Star Fox movie. You got Zelda next year, and probably a Pokemon or something in between there too. So, all right. Next bit of news here from Maury Brown. This is breaking news. Sacramento has officially unveiled their MLB expansion ballpark and funding details. So Sacramento, who is currently hosting the former Oakland Athletics, the A's are playing there right now, and playing at the Sutter Health Ballpark, which is home of the San Francisco's AAA farm club, the Sacramento River Cats. I think that's what they're called. And this plan would, I guess, expand that ballpark or maybe tear it down completely. But I'm not going to click on the article here. But in any case, Sacramento's going to try and go for it, apparently. As far as expansion clubs or expansion cities are concerned, I think MLB is definitely just going to do 2 cities, because you got 32 in the NHL, you got 32 in the NFL. NBA's already said they're going to do Seattle and Vegas. Those are the 2 that are going to be going there, and the Supersonics are coming back. But Sacramento, I guess maybe if they can pull this off, they can let the A's stay. But I guess even if the A's did leave, they're just going to be like, hey, we supported the A's for a few seasons, and we can still do this. And Sacramento's a pretty sizable city when it comes to all of baseball in California there. But I think baseball is definitely looking at Salt Lake City. I think that's if they had to have a West Coast team, that's probably where they would want to put one, given that Salt Lake City is growing. I just don't think about the A's. They're so far away. They're in the American League, so they're not really in my radar when it comes to that. Charles and Andrew have American League teams that they're cheering for, but I mean they're in the American League East and they're in the same division. They're just kind of worried about each other because those are two top teams, and the American League West is just kind of terrible. Really, it really is. It's probably the worst division in baseball right now. So I don't see how Sacramento's going to be doing stuff with this, but hey, let them go for it. They're not really going to lure anything else there. There's definitely not going to be an NHL team. They're not going to have an NFL team. I guess now that they've got a baseball team, they say, hey, look, this is our tryout, and we'll see. I think the last time something like this worked out was Oklahoma City, where they hosted the Hornets for a season, and then they forced the Supersonics to move to Oklahoma City. So there you go with that. Sure, I guess, but and they did once try to do this before when they had the Sacramento Kings arena, and right next to it was a proposal for a baseball stadium to try and get one of the teams to move there around the early 90s, the late 80s, because around that time you had some teams that were struggling. The San Francisco Giants were struggling at that time. The Chicago White Sox, the Seattle Mariners, those teams are always in the mix of rumored to be leaving, and so they actually did lay the foundations. You can see the outline of what was going to be a baseball stadium if you look at where the former Arco Arena or Sleep Train Center, or whatever they called that, in Sacramento is. There is an outline for a baseball stadium there. I'm surprised they didn't try and reuse that location, but it is actually far out from the city, and I think baseball, they want something that's a little more urban, unless they do something exactly like what the Atlanta Braves did in the Battery and whatever surrounding their ballpark at Truist Park in Cobb County. It's not even in Atlanta. But all right, let's see the next bit of news. I mean, yay! I guess they're really gonna try and avoid this whole tanking thing. It's funny how in the NFL you don't really see this problem. In baseball, don't really see this problem. The NHL tried to, at least they have sort of fixed this problem, because the point system in the NHL allows teams to be in the races a lot more. There's 16 teams that go to the playoffs, 8 and 8 in each conference, and then they have the divisional playoff format, which allows 3 teams from each division to the top 3 teams go to the playoffs, and then 2 wild card spots for the rest of the teams. And the NHL, because of what the Edmonton Oilers were doing, which was tanking to get number 1 draft picks, eventually they got Connor McDavid, and then after that, people were just like, this cannot happen anymore, because you can't have that. It almost seemed like it was rigged to have the Oilers have Connor McDavid there, but hey, and the NHL has gone through this before. They have gone through this before. All right then, so give me a moment. All right then, so let's see what is next. the NHL did fix it where you can't keep tanking. They do penalize you if you've already gotten number one pick or been in the top picks for a few seasons. The idea is to try and spur that competition, try and provide that. But NHL players are not really built for tanking like that. And the NBA's got some sort of a motivational or cultural issue where players are just not as motivated to play as hard. And I think the season is too long for the NBA, given what they're trying to do with it. Because you don't see any issues with that with regards to the NFL either. Of course, they don't have as many games, but because they have such a short amount of games, those players try and go hard as much as possible. And because they probably have the weakest of all the unions, they really are fighting for their jobs, especially those guys on the lower rung there that don't realize, or that do realize, how fleeting their careers really are. Let's see here. Moving on. So as far as my opinion is concerned, we'll see. I do hope that the NBA does get this right, because I really do want basketball to be interesting to me again. And regardless of what the Miami Heat are doing and how they're doing, like if they get Giannis, if they get LeBron or something like that, yes, I'll be happy. I'll definitely be engaged for the next season. But I overall, I do like basketball. I watch a lot of basketball history channels on YouTube. Andy Hoops. I watch Swish County is a pretty good YouTube channel if you're out there looking for NBA history. And but I really do like the sport. But this season was a grind for me to watch when I was trying to watch Miami Heat basketball. And I couldn't really get engaged with any of the other things. The in-season tournament doesn't grab me at all because it really doesn't matter to me and I don't care. So it is. I'm hoping they're trying to pick away at this and get people to be interested again. Next, after that, you gotta start chipping away. You can't have SGA winning MVPs, foul baiting all the time either. So, there you go. I did title this episode Villains. Because of the fact that you've got some pretty villainous franchises going to the finals right now. The Vegas Golden Knights are a villain franchise in the NHL. 9 seasons. They've made 3 Stanley Cup final appearances. They've already won 1, beating my Florida Panthers. And given that run, I'm not really angry about losing that series. Had the Panthers been healthy, I think that would have been a much stronger series because we almost made it 6 games and could have made it 7 if they had been healthy. But really wasn't seeing the Golden Knights as a bad guy team at that time. The whole Mark Stone cap circumvention LTIR stuff, every team was doing it. Panthers did it too. So and even then this season that's gone, but now a lot of teams see the Golden Knights as a bad guy franchise. A lot of people in Toronto see them as a bad guy franchise just because of Mitch Marner, who has now made it to the Cup final after he was ousted from Toronto. I'm very happy for him in actuality. I don't see him as a bad guy. It's very clear that Toronto, it is just you as a whole, the front office, coaching staff, the players, the fan base, the media, whatever is going on in Toronto, Ontario, okay, in the GTA, in the 6, whatever you want to freaking call you guys, something's wrong. Harold Ballard died 36 years ago. Whatever stink he laid over the franchise is long gone. It's on you now. You're scaring the best players from coming to you. You're banishing the good players out of your city, and then they're immediately seeing success elsewhere. This is Phil Kessel all over again. All over again. You had a golden opportunity to do something here, and those players play with a massive amount of weight on their shoulders. 50 plus years of weight on their shoulders. Okay, it's going to be 60 years next year since their last Stanley Cup championship and Stanley Cup appearance, which I still don't count because I lessen any Stanley Cup championship before the 1967-68 season. Because I think the NHL actually became more fair after they added the other 6 teams to the league. After the original 6 era. I did a very fair view of NHL history. If you cut it off there, teams are at where they should be at. It has evened out where it should be. The Montreal Canadiens still have the most championships. The Detroit Red Wings have a good amount. Okay, the Blackhawks got theirs. The Bruins got theirs. The New York Rangers got theirs. So all the other 5 original 6 teams got a cup championship and appearance, at least, in the final. Yet Toronto's the only one. And in that time frame, teams have relocated. Teams have come in from the WHA. Teams have been... There's been expansion franchises. And yet Toronto just can't figure it out. There's pressure in other cities. New York, big media market, they won. The Edmonton Oilers, they got their dynasty. The Chicago Blackhawks got a dynasty. Boston got theirs. Philly. Players have come and gone. Toronto's had amazing, great players. They've had Hall of Famers. They've constructed some pretty good teams. I don't know. I don't... It's all over. It is all over. So you guys got to figure it out. That's all I can tell you. All right, back to the big board here. So, other big news that dropped. There's a lot of stuff today, man. As expected, MLB has proposed a hard salary cap. So now we're getting finally into this big negotiation for the new CBA between the players and the owners of baseball. Hold on, just give me a moment. I'm probably going to cut this out in the audio version. Okay. So they have set a salary cap, a hard salary cap, and a salary floor. The MLB has proposed salary floor of $171.2 million and a salary cap of $245.3 million. That's pretty high, for sure. It's high when it comes to a team like mine, the Marlins, who are nowhere near that 171.2. So if this somehow gets implemented, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be some back and forth when it comes to this, because I don't think the players are going to go for this at all. And we're going to see a lockout. I fully believe that the 2027 MLB season will not start on time for sure. We might get a shortened season like 95 or like the 2020 season. And I maybe, just maybe, MLB owners may be brazen enough to do what the NHL owners did to cancel the entire season. Which the NHL survived that. In the mid-2000s, going into a recession, the NHL did survive that, but it was really really hard. All their TV deals I mean, they were on the Outdoor Life Network. Now, baseball has a bigger following, and they're really trying to hone in on some of that international appeal, especially with Japan right now. You've got a lot of momentum for baseball right now. The World Baseball Classic was amazing again this year. I don't want to see that momentum slow down, but you're looking at a lot of franchises that people just really don't have any hope for baseball when it comes to their seasons and whether their teams can actually compete. I'm a fan of one of those teams. It's hard to watch a baseball season that way when I know the other 4 teams in our division can actually spend some money. Andrew's a fan of the Rays, and they don't spend money either, but they've probably got the best scouts and front office and analytics department in all of baseball. And they have the best record in baseball right now. So you're looking at 2 examples of a team that really would like to have this and a team that has survived without it, would like to have it, but they've got the structure set to not have it. And then you've got Charles, who's a fan of the New York Yankees, and it doesn't matter what structure you set up there. They're probably gonna be spending up to the cap if they even implement this at all. If not, they're just gonna be one of the top 3 teams in spending every single year. With this proposal, the Yankees would have to cut salaries. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of grandfathered in thing where I guess whatever players were signed in the before times will move on to this. But this is just baseball's proposal. The MLB Players Association is probably going to completely say we are against this and let the games begin. All right, so back to the big board here. So that's what you've got there. The Rangers DFA'd Andrew McCutchen. He's coming towards the end of his career. It's been a good one. It's been a good career. He won an MVP. Part of those pretty good probably 3 or so seasons that the Pirates had in the mid 2010s. Couldn't really do much with it. But in a beloved Pittsburgh Pirate, I don't know if he's retirement number worthy, but probably the best Pirate in a long time because, man, probably the best Pirate since Barry Bonds. I legitimately would say that. And the Pirates have had some good players pass by them. Garrett Cole was a former Pirate, but didn't play long enough to really warrant this. Jason Kendall, was out there, but Jason Bay was pretty good for quite some time. Andrew McCutchen is the best Pirate that they've had since Barry Bonds. It's just man, you're looking at it, man. I'm old, and it's just the way things are. It's just life as he moves on there. Going into even more sad news, I don't want to harp on this too much, but Claude Lemieux, legendary NHL player, passed away today. Unfortunate circumstances as to how he died. You guys can look that up on your own. I don't want to harp on it too much. TMZ reported it. And, if anybody's struggling out there, please try and reach out to some loved one out there. There's hotlines and everything like that, but 4-time Stanley Cup champion. He's got 2 with the New Jersey Devils, 1 with Montreal, 1 with Colorado, beating my Florida Panthers in 96. And he won the Conn Smythe as well in the 95 Devils run. And he was just he had a public appearance literally this Monday for the Montreal Canadiens for Game 3. And he's no longer with us, so 60 years old, Claude Lemieux. So rest in peace, and I hope he has found peace. All right, so I wish Charles was here for this one, but it is the first cold job of the 2026 season and the first one since 2024 when his Yankees went on their playoff run to the American League pennant. Cole, 6.2 innings pitched, only allowed 4 hits, no earned runs, and 10 strikeouts. That earned him a big sloppy from Charles, and he is all right, so we're back here. Let's pick up the pace a little bit more here. Donkey Kong 64 has or is going to return on the Nintendo Switch for the first time. It was on the Wii U Virtual Console, and that's about it. So it's the second time it's ever been re-released. I can actually use the widescreen mode in this game because on the Wii U, it did have the option to do widescreen, but you couldn't do it. It would actually shrink the screen and you'd have to find a way to stretch it. And by that point, TVs no longer stretch the images, so it didn't make any effing sense. So there you go with that. But yeah, DK64 is coming back. So anybody can enjoy that. I 100%ed it back when I was a kid, back when it was first released back in 1999. I don't have the urge to do that again because it is, I think, still the most collectibles in a video game of all time. I feel like another game, probably some indie game or something's probably done that, but yeah, this is a big one. Another thing I'm excited about, Sonic the Hedgehog is having a live concert tour here, so it looks like fun. They are coming down to South Florida in one of these, Fort Lauderdale. So probably the Performing Arts Center over there. We'll see if I go. I don't know if Charles would want to go to this. I mean, my sister and her kids, not really Sonic heads as much as I am. But we'll see. And there's one in freaking St. Petersburg. I don't know where in that. Tropicana Field. But yeah, Sonic live in concert, but Sonic music is different, and this doesn't seem like it's an orchestra, more as it's just like maybe rock music, rock style, which is a lot different than the Zelda concert that I went to, where that was an orchestra. Travis Kelce from the Kansas City Chiefs, he has bought a minority stake in the Cleveland Guardians, so good on him. I guess he was recently at the Cleveland Cavaliers game as they got swept by the New York Knicks. Another going into the theme of villains that I put for this one. The New York Knicks have made the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. Man, it's been a while. It's been a long while for New York. They're a pretty villainous fan base for sure. As a Miami Heat fan, I hope for their demise. I really do hope whoever comes out of the West will defeat them. The Oklahoma City Thunder are villains as well. So if they do move on and actually do defeat the San Antonio Spurs, I would hope that the Meteor wins when it comes to that finals matchup. But I would prefer Oklahoma City if that didn't happen, where the Meteor hit the arena and both teams perished. But in any case, the New York Knicks are in the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999, and may the universe help us if the New York Knicks actually win the NBA Finals, because that fan base and Stephen A. Smith, and it's going to be unbearable for a long time, because they're going to hang on to that NBA Finals victory for a very long time. New York Rangers fans are still talking about 94 like it was last year. But we always remind them they only have the one. under my criteria for Stanley Cup championships. Now, the New York Knicks haven't won since the early 70s. That's it. So, we'll see. We'll see, but I don't want them to have, I think that would be their third NBA championship if they actually do win it this year. I don't want them to tie the Miami Heat. I do not want that. But yeah, Travis Kelce's minority stake in the Cleveland Guardians. Good on him, I guess. Boyhood dream for a lot of people is to own their favorite team. So that's all right, cool. I wish Charles was here. I wish I could have him and try and talk a little more here. But yeah, The Witcher 3 is getting another expansion. So they're just gonna give more stuff away in this game. CD Projekt Red is still one of the better developers out there when it comes to providing a lot of value to the gamers that buy their games. And here's another example of that. I haven't bought The Witcher 3. I only have The Witcher 1 in my collection on my PC. Don't really feel like playing it anytime soon. It just seems like it's a lot. But yeah, that's just a big bit of news that nobody would expect. Nobody would expect. All right then. I do want to show this image. I'm going to go to the big board here. 1 second. Hold on. I just want to copy something real quick. Let's go with, is that me? Yeah, I think that's the video capture here. Just want to copy myself here, and let's go here. Okay. All right, so now I'm in the middle of the screen here, but I'm going to put myself to the side here. All right. Screen's over here. Okay. So you've got an image here. I'm gonna load it now. Of this is a very fun follow for Marlins fans here. This is Marky MXRK, Marky Mark. He does an image after every Marlins game. He does a digital sketch after every Marlins game, win or lose, right? When it's a loss, it's a little more depressing. When it's a win, it's a lot more upbeat or funny or inspirational. But the New York Mets recently played the Marlins. The Marlins swept the New York Mets. And this image he created for the first game of the series after the Marlins won that one. It's an image of Mr. Met sitting at a hotel in the corner in the cuckold chair as Mrs. Met is strapped by her arms to a bedpost here, to the headboards. She's blindfolded. She's got a ball gag in her. There's lube and some other sex toys around her, and the image just in the left hand corner of Billy the Marlin's hand with a whip, as he's about to have a good time. This is one of the funnier things I've seen on Marlin's Twitter, and this one did go viral because, my goodness, I'm very happy for him. He's got 1 million there for that one. I've had a couple posts that I've hit 1 million, but this is one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. And Mr. Met is definitely enjoying what he's seeing because he got a big old smile there. So, I don't think the Mets are going to reference this in any way. You already had Dinger already kind of feeling around Mrs. Met for quite a bit there. Man, this is hilarious. All right. Then we have Real Wokeism tweeted out. Karl Marx failed to consider the Steam summer sale, and yes, we're getting some good sales here coming up. I'm already getting notifications for even Nintendo's putting some stuff on there, but of course, Nintendo's sales is we knocked $5 off this $60 or $70 game. That's Nintendo's sales there, but it doesn't matter to Charles. He's always Charlesing. Wish I had the guys here to talk about the Savannah Bananas and this image of the Bananas hosting, or University of, I think it's Tennessee, hosting the Savannah Bananas at their college football stadium. It's just this extreme layout of baseball in a football stadium, and of course those football stadiums are not configured in any way for baseball. Those seats cannot retract back like at Pro Player Stadium back in the day with the Marlins, or the other multi-purpose stadiums that were out there. So you've got what should be a regular baseball field shoehorned in there with the left field and center field completely cut off in a normal baseball field for pretty much the rest of it there. I'm surprised they didn't go like the Polo Grounds route where it's just big infield there and then just short porches both ways, left and right, and then a big old center field. But I would do that personally from a nostalgic standpoint. But a lot of fans, a lot of people go to the Bananas games. I've never been to one. My sister and her kids, they've gone to see that. I've seen some of the gimmicks and stuff that they've done. I'm sure it's kind of like fun and lighthearted when you actually do go, because I mean, especially if you paid that money to go see it, you try to have a good time. But I don't know if it is completely for me. But I could see myself actually just like enjoying it. Hey, this is just dumb fun. But a lot of people hate the Bananas now. I wouldn't call it that. Once again, these are like the Harlem Globetrotters of baseball. So Globetrotters had their time when it came to basketball. So you don't see that for basketball. In fact, man, you don't hear about the Globetrotters at all for basketball nowadays. So there you go. Okay. Oh man, I wish I had the guys for this one here too. So this is Bryce Harper. He was, I guess, on TikTok here. He posted something. I don't know if he went live with this, but this is him, I guess, talking in the morning, brushing his teeth, and the way that he applies the toothpaste here, he sticks bit of it in his mouth, then kind of wets his toothbrush and then brushes the teeth. And people were trying to rake him over the coals for it, because it's like, what? This is weird. But I've done this. I have done this. I have done this multiple times. I've done this so many times, actually. It's not a regular thing that I do, but sometimes I get up in the morning, I don't even turn on the lights, I can barely see anything, and I can't really see how much I'm applying. He's got the lights fully on there, so I don't know what about that, but I'm like, I can't really see how much I'm getting out of the tube there, so all right, fine, I can probably feel it out with my mouth. I'm the only one using the toothpaste, so I'm not really affecting anybody. And then I wet the toothbrush and I brush my teeth. So it's not a weird thing to do, but just doing it in full light, I don't know why. I have no idea, but that's the way he does it. If that's the way he does it, I don't see anything completely wrong with it. He at least is brushing his teeth. So it's funny, but I like the actual tweet here by Yanks Phils. Bryce Harper with the most abominable toothpaste application I've ever seen. But I have done this. But I'm a heathen because I do put ketchup on my subs. So I don't know. That's just me. So yeah, that's Bryce Harper applying toothpaste firstly into his mouth and then wetting the toothbrush and then brushing his teeth with the brush and just mixing it there. So I have no clue. That's the way it is. All right. Okay. This is a funny video here. This is Breaking Bad, but his hat grows proportionally to his ego. So this is a scene from Breaking Bad, which show that I have not seen. People can rake me over the coals for that, but I haven't seen it. And I'm still not watching The Sandlot. If Charles and Andrew are watching this too, I will never watch The Sandlot unless you kind of tie me down and pull my eyes back, like what, Clockwork Orange style. I haven't even seen that movie, so I don't even know if I'm referencing it correctly. So there you go. But there it is. It's getting ridiculously large. Who are the VFX artists that did this? Amazing, fantastic job. It's hilarious. Go watch that. That's from Best of Breakin' on Twitter. And then you got one of the, I guess, developers for Tekken 8, who just recently came by to the United States. I don't know for what conference. And he's just expounding the virtues of Waffle House. Because I'm sure internationally people probably have seen the memes and the reputation of Waffle House. I do recommend watching, was it the pole mark drop system that they have developed? It's Waffle House's method of letting the cooks know what your order is. They've got this convoluted system, language, essentially, that uses a plate and condiments and pieces of food to basically tell the cooks exactly what your order is. I don't know if it was created out of a need for people that were illiterate, that were cooks for them. I have no clue. But apparently it works out for them, especially when a disaster strikes and Waffle House is the only place that's serving food. They don't use tickets. They don't use a lot of electronics, and they have a limited menu when that happens, but apparently they can find a way to make sure they get your order right, how you want your hash browns done, how you want your eggs done, how you want your meat done. So yeah, this is just his tour of Waffle House. So Harada's got photos here. He bought a menu for like $5. Someone's at Waffle House sold him a menu to take back home as a souvenir, and he loves it. So who doesn't love a Waffle House, right? And he's a fighting game expert, so he probably got some tips. Oh man, I think Waffle House. I think he did ask if Waffle House would I think they tried to contact Waffle House to see if maybe they could do a parody or something like that, or some sort of tie-in, and they did not get back to them. I don't think Waffle House wants that kind of smoke, but you could do a parody. I think they could do a parody of a Waffle House and have a fighting game motif to it, or maybe a Waffle House waiter be a fighting character. That'd be fun. Cam Newton here by Xbox Boss. I guess that's Xbox Boss. Looks like that guy that controls how time works in a scary movie for kids. That's pretty funny there. Let's move on here. When I was a kid, I didn't realize Rey and Rey Mysterio. This is from No Zoe Connor on Twitter here. Rey Mysterio. I didn't realize Rey and Rey Mysterio meant king. I thought it was short for Raymond. Raymond Mysterio. Oh boy. Okay. So this is something that I retweeted here on the Sports Goofs Twitter here. But this is the legend of Bowie knife from Forza Horizon 6. This is amazing, by the way. So Bowie knife 99, I think that's the handle of this Drivatar that is terrorizing players in Forza Horizon 6. Can't wait to play it. Cannot wait to play it. So this is an article here on May 22nd. The Oxford biologist says that if humans go extinct, that octopuses could build the next civilization because they're intelligent. And Carolina wrote out, Splatoon will be real, chat. There we go. Love Splatoon. Actually got a Inkling amiibo here from Goodwill. So the first actual Splatoon amiibo that I've ever got. This is from Super Smash Brothers. So there you go. So that's something I got over recently. So let's see. How long have I been going? I really wanted to get through all of this. Tweets from 18th century. This is Greg the Sorcerer here. Tweets from the 18th century talking about the first shipment of steam machines has reportedly arrived in the USA. This is the Valve Steam machine that has come out here. So there you go with that. It's pretty funny. You had a video here of Jazz Chisholm Jr. Talking about one-on-one battles between different anime characters fighting each other. Jazz is a huge anime fan. watches it, and yeah, Ichigo. He's just choosing Ichigo for a lot of things here, but yeah. So there you go. Well, he does know his stuff. Alrighty then. Moving on here. This is the funny treat from Colin Composer. Went to the Nintendo store today when the cashier asked if I needed a bag, I said yes, and if it's not a problem, can I get a Zelda bag? And she said, oh, you got too much stuff for a Zelda bag. It won't fit. And gave him a giant Donkey Kong bag there. And then Van, who responded here, couldn't they have given you a Zelda bag and a Donkey Kong bag? And then Colin wrote, I mean, probably, but I thought it was hilarious that she's like, no, you need the Donkey Kong bag. That's a Nintendo World Store in New York. I've been to it a couple times. It's amazing. I haven't been to it in a long time because I've been to New York in a long time. They did open one in San Francisco. Of course, it didn't exist when I last went to San Francisco, so maybe one day I'll go back. All right, then. Let's see here. So, all right, I think I'm coming up on the time. I wasn't able to get through all the tweets here. This is how I kind of want to start structuring Sports Goofs moving forward. Is I'm just going to start retweeting a lot of the interesting news and funny posts that I've seen over the last couple weeks here. Being a bi-weekly show, that means that's a lot of content there, and I'm probably going to have to start using the bookmarks to kind of pick the best of the best that I like here. But I think this would be a great way for Charles and Andrew and I just be able to kind of compartmentalize and focus on certain topics to talk to you about. Because we could talk about ourselves and try and do things off the top of our heads. I mean, but this is a lot more fun. We can talk about topical stuff or just stuff in general. Because this is a variety show now. This is a sports show, but it's also a variety show here. But I did talk about sports today. I do want to end this with word from our non-sponsors, people, places, things, concepts, what have you, that I've been enjoying over the last week. Neither Charles nor Andrew are here, so that just leaves me to talk about something here. But I did have something, so let's go to the big board here. I'm going to close this out and then refresh it. Okay. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about Play Night here. There's been a recent change to the Xbox app on Windows 11. They are rolling this out little by little, where you can put your Windows PC into Xbox mode, which is basically just game mode. And it'll turn off a lot of the services and things on your PC that Windows uses that does affect the way games run, that takes up resources when it comes to the RAM and the CPU and memory storage and things like that, and trying to streamline the experience when you're gaming, because once again, Microsoft's got two arms when it comes to their Xbox division. You got a console and you've got PC, and they realize that they may start losing PC players as far as their operating system with this uptick with Valve and their Steam machines and their Steam Deck. Yes, the prices are being raised for these machines. I get that. Some people cannot afford it now. All the components are getting more expensive. I was fortunate enough to try and get ahead of it by building my game PC way beforehand, before anything got way too expensive. Got my Nintendo Switch at launch, the Switch 2. So I'm pretty set when it comes to gaming. But I do want to I haven't been selected so far for the new Xbox game mode for my PC yet, so I don't have that yet. But supposedly, and from what the videos I've seen, it does unify everything into the Xbox app, and you can have your Steam games and your Epic Games Store games and Good Old Games Store games, and maybe other games that are installed on your PC to just run from one solitary app and make it one experience that you can control with a game controller as well as the keyboard and mouse. Before that, though, and this is something that I think I've non-sponsored them before, but I've really been having fun with a lot of the options that you have here. It's been Play Night. This is what I use, and this is what I'm using so far. And if this Xbox mode is as good as advertised so far, I'm going to move on to using that. But I have Play Night here in the meantime, and hopefully maybe Play Night might be able to play nice with the Xbox mode, where I can use the cutting out of services and things that I don't need for gaming, and I can just use Play Night instead. And I think people can do that, but they're going to improve that. But in any case, Play Night puts all of my gaming clients and services all into one place. I have Ubisoft Connect, I have EA, I have Xbox, I have Steam, I have Epic Games, I have Good Old Games, I have all of the clients, right? I know some people only stick with one, especially when it comes to Steam, but I'm getting free games from everywhere when it comes to that. I would rather have everything in one place, and I'm not, you know, a stand for any single solitary service out there. I bought games on the Epic Games Store, I bought games on Steam, on Good Old Games. I'm fine just finding a good deal on a game and just getting it. Most of my games I get for free. Thank you, gamerpower.com. But I use this to unify everything, and you can have themes. They have full screen themes. You can have it just like a desktop there. We can have everything there too. But the themes are what I like about it, because I can control it with my gaming controller, kind of sit back and let it run like a, you can have it run looking like the Xbox Series menu. You can make it look like the PlayStation 5 menu. You can make it look like the Nintendo Switch menu, or you can customize it to have different colors and anything in between. There's different open source as well. You have all these other people just developing their own themes, their own apps and extensions where I can have all of my achievements be viewable on one thing from all of Unified using Exophase and things like that. So I've really been going deeper into this. I can have a screensaver that plays trailers from all the games that I have, and I've actually seen trailers on the screensaver for games that I've yet to download and install, and I'm just like, wow, that actually does look like an interesting game. I would like to download that and have that as the next game in my gaming journey. So it's a fantastic app so far for Windows. I think you can use it on Linux as well. It just makes things simpler for me, and when I just want everything in one place and I don't want to just remember where exactly a certain game is, it pulls from all your accounts into one. It just makes it a lot easier. So yeah, Play Night, promo code Play Nice. All right, folks, so that's about it. I am done here. I want to thank whoever was watching this live. I'll leave you with some music here. I'll just put this Star Fox 69.
If I were him, I'd bundle.
Whoa, an ad just played right there. Sorry. Thank you, State Farm, for jumping into that. But I guess I'll see you guys in a couple weeks, and I'll see if I'm joined by either one of my two great friends here, and we can actually talk about some of the other stuff there. But this will be fun to cut up into the shorts, and we'll go from there. Good night, everybody.